Definitely got on here because I wanted to talk about a couple of things. One being a lot of the things going on with the the people that are supposed to be in charge here. It's a lot. It's a lot happening, and I want everyone to try to kind of be mindful of your emotions and try to regulate your emotions. I say that to say that we are in a spiritual war, and I mean, at least it hasn't gotten physical yet, but that's what we're dealing with. And I know that when you are not in control of your emotions, it can be like, what's the word I'm looking for? It can be just detrimental to any kind of plans to move forward with any actions. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And especially when we're talking about children being harmed, or it's a lot for any soul to take in and not kind of be aggravated, especially if you have children of your own. So, but be mindful that these these entities that supposedly run the country are are trying to get these different emotions out of you. They're trying to get fear out of you. They're trying to get anger out of you. They're trying to get hate out of you. They're trying to get everything except for love out of you. And that's what we got to focus on. So that's just one of the things that I wanted to talk about, is just regulating your emotions, being emotionally intelligent when it comes to the things that are happening in our, I don't even want to say our government, because if your mind is free, they have no control over you. So they're not governing your mental, but the so-called people that are in charge. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is, since it's Friday the 13th still, for me, I want to talk about why they removed the number 13 out of everything. And they made it seem like it was a bad number, and it's actually a highly spiritual number. When you say it's a bad number, you gotta know who it's a bad number for. It's it's really like a ending and a new beginning number. And I believe that's why it's taken out here in the Western civilization. I know Ethiopia still has 13 months in there. Hello, everyone. But the spiritual meaning, it's I'm sorry, I don't do a lot of lives and stuff, so excuse me if I'm trying to get my thoughts together. But it represents death and rebirth, like into higher consciousness. So that's why a lot of us are awakening in different ways. We're getting more spiritual insight, spiritual development, spiritual growth. And it could also represent like some major life transitions to where, it doesn't always have to be major life transitions in a bad way. I'm so sorry. But it doesn't have to be major life transitions in a bad way. It could mean major life transitions in a good way. Like you might be just now starting to like travel the world, or just now meeting the love of your life, or just now just getting into something new that you've never gotten to before, and it changing your life. So it evolves you, really. So the number 13, it's like an evolution number. It also represents divine feminine energy. So when I know I know that a lot of people, don't subscribe to the whole patriarchal matriarchal system, but we have been in a patriarchy for a very long time, and the divine feminine energy is now rising, which is a good thing, because balance is what we need. Both masculine and feminine, working together is always a good thing. Who said that? Charlie Kirk will never be forgotten. Anyway, what else do I want to say? Sorry, I gotta cut this off a little bit. Oh yeah, okay. So, also means leadership, creation, expansion, and expression. So, if you are a creative, you can get better at creating. You can be receiving more ideas. You can just be evolving in your creative endeavors at this time. So that's also a good thing as well. Thank you. Hello everybody, welcome in. But there's a deeper meaning, and like that's probably what a lot of people look at the number 13 and kind of just get like, they get maybe a little bit worried about it, because it's really a number of soul refinement. So your soul is in a refinement stage at this time. And that can be kind of scary for some people, but we don't have a spirit of fear over here. So I look at things in a positive way, rather than a negative. I try to be optimistic, especially when it comes to what do I want to say? What's the word I'm looking for? Especially when it comes to like evolving in any way. Like, people go through things. So we all go through things. And a lot of the things shape and mold us into the people that we are. So it's not to make us like destroy us. A lot of things that we go through are to build us up and make us stronger. Hopefully we learn certain lessons and we don't keep on having to repeat and learn the same lessons over and over again, because that's crazy. Can you get mine? Okay, so anyway, that's probably all that I'm gonna do about that for right now. And I just want, everybody to like be aware that we're like entering into a new cycle, and it's so many good things that are coming. It's so much that we have to look forward to. And when there's a lot of things that are going on around you, it's to keep you from looking forward, and keeping positive. Because if they can, pump fear into your heart, get you angry, upset, in a bad mood, have your emotions out of whack in any way, shape, form, or fashion, they can really, kind of put a dent in your evolution. And I know that a lot of us have experienced a lot of things, and that's not what we want to do anymore. So, what else do I want to say? Yeah, so I wanna oh, I also wanna say that this is going to this time that we're in is going to activate like it's going to activate everything that you've been working for. It's going to increase the things that you've been working hard for or working hard towards. is going to really like take off for you, especially if you've been in alignment, if you are in alignment, if you are in purpose. But yeah, so wait a minute. Did you guys, I hope you guys heard everything that I just said. Was I muted the whole time? Ooh, child. I hope I wasn't muted the whole time. You guys, let me know in the comments if I was muted the whole time. That was weird. I thought I was saying some good stuff. Okay, so if I wasn't muted the whole time, just to make sure I said in this time. Oh, you heard me. Okay, okay. All right. So you heard when I said the it's gonna, in this time, you're like the things that you've been working toward are going to be okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. 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 I was so confused for a second. Okay. We don't want that. But I want to say something. And I want to share with you guys like this crazy dream that I had. And I don't know why I want to share it, but certain dreams, like I keep to myself, but certain dreams, I like to share it because I feel like there's a lot of things that are going to start happening, and there's going to be a lot of things that we've never seen before. And this dream in particular, it kind of was like, whoa, you know, and I don't know if it was like one of those dreams to where it was like a multi-dimensional dream, or if I was dreaming about another life, or dreaming about maybe another person's life, or it had spiritual meaning behind it. So this is like a up in the air type of dream. Usually when I have my dreams, I immediately know what's going on. So maybe you guys can kind of help me out with this. But in this dream, I was at my grandmother's old house, like her old apartments, and we were outside. And I remember that like I had this car parked there. And I remember the car, the make, the model, and everything. It was like a burgundy car. And that's where like, okay, so I want to talk about the color burgundy as well, because the color burgundy means a lot. It also, it has major meanings. But one of the main meanings, if you see burgundy in a dream, it's like sacrifice. I remember the card. So, but I don't like I've never had a burgundy Honda in my life. Like not in this life. So I was looking like, whoa, okay. But me and my grandmother were talking to this man, and I was like, my grandmother was significantly younger looking. She was way younger than I had ever seen her before. It was looking like she was maybe in her late 20s, early 30s at this time. And I was younger. And we were talking to this, well, she was talking to this man, and I was just looking up at him. And he kept looking down at me very strangely. And we went inside the apartment indoors, and like we left the man outdoors. She was saying something and I couldn't make it out. It just really at that time I couldn't make out what they were saying. They were just moo 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 moo. It sounded like gibberish back and forth again, between him and her. I was like, what? So when we got inside, she put everything down, start washing her hands, said she was gonna go get in the shower. She gets in the shower, comes out. It was like real quick in the dream, but comes out in like a moo, and I hear a knock on the door. I open the door, and at the screen door, it was this man again. So she opens the door. They come in. He comes in, and they're talking again in the like in the gibberish again, to where I couldn't understand it. I kid you not. The guy said one thing, and I understood it. He said, I'm interested in the girl, in her. And he was talking about me. And I was like, huh? And my grandmother, she said something, blah, 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 blah. And he proceeds to walk out of the door. And right before he gets to the screen door, he shapeshifts into a dog and walks out. And it was like not a regular dog. It was like one of those, it was like black. It was a black, like Afghan type of, like Egyptian type of dogs. Yes. Yes. It was crazy. It was crazy. So, walks out the door, and then, yeah, I know. And then, I wake up, and it seemed so real. And I tried to call my grandmother, like, and I guess my aunt had her phone. And I don't know, my family, okay, so if I talk about, like, I don't want to get into all of that, but I have a real, like, church going type of family or whatever. I grew up in the church, like, we were Pentecostal, like, we went to church 3-4 times a week, at times. And, we were those people that, we couldn't wear pants to church if we were girls. And, we had to have stockings on. The skirt or the dresses had to be, below your knee. A lot of stuff. Okay, so it was real strict, like. And I know since I've been, like, awakening, and I've moved away from religion and kind of more into a personal relationship with the Creator, and practicing, actually doing the right things, following the laws of God, and living right. They've separated. They've kind of been, taken back. Like, they kind of just, are not with that program. I feel like they like me better when I was drinking and smoking and, fornicating and all that. I've been a 9-year celibate. Like, it's been a lot of things that have changed in my life. Like, the past 9 years, I've been just getting closer and closer to God. And then it's been like, it's my family have been like getting further and further away. So it's kind of weird. And now that I'm actually saying the dream and thinking about everything, it's now becoming apparent to me what is actually happening. Like, what was happening in that dream, rather. So, yeah. Yeah, so see when I think about things like that, I think about like how the Ethiopian Bible, it says darkness will come and it will wear my face. And then I think about, all the people that are real churchy, And what I mean by churchy is not like, I'm not speaking against, the church, because we are the church. But the church house, rather, the people that go to church, and I'm not even speaking about those people. Actually, I'm speaking of people that give God one day instead of all days. Because God gave us all days. And it's I don't think that we should be going to church one day and then doing whatever, we feel like doing the rest of the week. And that's kind of what I've actually been through. And like, I feel the closest to the Creator than I ever have. And I haven't went to church in a while. So I'm saying it's very important for us to develop a personal relationship with God, and God will change you. Like, the closer you get to God, the more time you give God, the more, time that you spend like refining yourself. The sacrifices that you make, and just to your flesh, by not doing the things that are pleasing to your flesh, all the time. I think that is what, I think that is what actually evolves us spiritually. This guy actually, in my comments, he said something, and I forgot what it was. Hold on, what did he say? I totally forgot what it was. Something about, okay, he said, the high, like, he was saying that the highly spiritually ranked takes hits, but I mean, I kind of agreed, and then I I kind of unagreed. Like, when I thought about it, I said, hold on. I said, we don't just take hits and keep taking hits. I feel like we take hits seasonally, but we do take some of the hardest hits. And I believe that is to unlock your purpose. It's like to awaken your calling. So a lot of times, ever since you were a child, it's been like wicked spirits that have been trying to basically get you out of here. And honestly, that's because, if you the greater your purpose, the greater role that you play in this life, and it's going against, the kingdom of darkness. It's going against wickedness. And they don't want no smoke, for real. So but I am Braceland. I'm gonna need you to relax. I need you to relax, okay? But I appreciate you for being here. And, you can go ahead and come back to it because I'm just about out of here. It's Braylon. I'm sorry. My bad. I didn't mean to butcher your name like that. But yeah. And you know what? And my bad, for real, because you know what? I used to do lives, or I used to come into people's lives, rather. That's what I meant to say. I used to come into people's lives. And my name really was, it was, I think it was, what was my name? Going into people's life. I think it was Real Love. It was Real Love. So people would butcher that, and I don't know how you would butcher that. Like, how do you? It was REALLOVE. So I don't. I was so confused. It was like real love and real. I'm like, oh man, y'all really tripping. I can't give you mine, Braylon. It's not even no people out here for me to give you mine. They told me not to do that anyway. They told me y'all be doing some other stuff with the mod, so I can't do that. Remember me from where? I'm not finna start with you, Braylon. But it was a good talk. I hope that you got something out of it. I'm just yapping at this point. So it's my first live. We'll be doing more lives. And y'all have a good night. Appreciate y'all for being here. Peace.